So basically, for starters, a conservancy is a land that is managed for the purpose to preserve and conserve its natural resources. That's what a conservancy is. So everything that you see today, it's all from the community itself taking initiative. So I'm really grateful for the community around Hillside Dams, which is Ward 4. They're very passionate about the green space, and we really applaud them for taking the initiative and the call to stand and re-establish the trust. We're teaching the community on the effective disposal of waste. So at its generation at the homes, we begin to separate our waste. Glass, plastics, cardboard, and also paper and cans, so that we are able to effectively dispose of them. And with that also, as we bring back the trees, and also as we practice safe disposal methods of waste, we can manage our waste within our surroundings, and we can also create jobs for the youths. So this is where we want to be.
Hello everyone, welcome to Next Step, the baby of Scholastica. I am Nkosi Khumalo, and I'm so delighted to have you here for yet another episode. If you're a new viewer, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that you're going to love this episode. If you are a returning one, thank you so much for coming back yet again. Today we have a wonderful guest from Hillside Dams Conservancy, and she's here to talk about sustainability and more. Let me allow her to introduce herself. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you for having me, Sinomi. My name is Bernadette Mupinda. I'm the conservation manager at the Hillside Dams.
How are you doing today?
Oh, fantastic. Such a pleasure.
Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me and having Hillside Dams here to tell their story.
Funny story, interesting story actually. Last week she dragged me along to a workshop that she was attending at a school, and yeah, that was really an amazing experience for me. Thank you for having me there.
Yes, I just wanted to set a tone on as we were setting up for this interview, so that you get to at least also experience and walk in my shoes, and see some of the work firsthand that we interact and engage with schools as Hillside Dams Conservancy.
I loved hearing you speak and how you engage with the children and how well read or how knowledgeable you are in your field. It's really inspiring to see women in this, flourishing. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that with conservation and with everything in general, one thing that is constant is change. So you always have to keep abreast. You always have to be reading this. One article is coming after the other. One research is happening after the other. So you always have to be on top of your game. And part of it's basic everyday stuff. As a mom, as a parent, I have teenagers as well who are in high school. So it's just a mix between the two. It's easy to always switch from one hat to another.
You said parent to children, and I'm like, wait, what? You look so young. How do you do it? You are sustainability personified.
Well, something like that. Well, I wouldn't take all the credit.
Yeah.
Most of it is just the genes. Yes, I am a parent. I have 4 boys, 4 handsome boys. Yes, my eldest is 23, the twins are 17, and the youngest is 11.
Oldest is 23. You should be saying my first is 1 year old, and the others are that 6 months old.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you so much.
No, but Kim, do you agree? Like, she looks so young. I'm inspired. I'm really inspired. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, this is lovely. This is lovely. And so you're speaking about how you have to always read and be up to date. So, like, was it always the case for you? What was your aha moment when you knew that this is what you want to do?
After high school, I think I first ventured into travel and tourism. And by then, when we were, looking forward to writing our exams, we were supposed to register with the UK board. And way back then, you needed to pay it in Forex. Forex wasn't like how it is today, where you've got, where you have access to different currencies right now. Then it was quite a bit of a challenge. So I left it and I pursued a career in marketing. So I do have a diploma in marketing with the London Chamber of Commerce. So as years went by, and I started drifting more back to tourism. It's actually a funny thing that with the jobs that I was getting that were available for me is that most of the times I started venturing more into tourism slowly, and eventually I took it up again and eventually completing my studies in wildlife management with Moshandike. Yes.
So like wildlife management is under tourism, like how did you?
Yes, they overlap.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Yeah.
the studies overlap because you do have wildlife and forestry management, which is at university level. Then you also have it at college level, which is with the conservation college, the Zimbabwe Wildlife Conservation College. So that's where I did my training. I'm still doing part of the training, so I'm not yet done. So that's why you see that I'm continuously learning more stuff, right? So within my career, I've been all over. I'm sure every Zimbabwean has as well.
Yes.
Yes. I've had moments where I've been working in restaurants. So you can see it already. I've had moments where I have been working as a sales rep as well in the fast moving goods, which is your supermarkets, your retails. So I've been there. And I've also worked at Insco. Yes. At one time I was a cashier at Chicken Inn. So I've been all over. And then of late, basically, I went just after the COVID, I was working in Vic Falls as a safari tour operator. I was managing a safari company. And then when COVID happens, I came back home. Under the same holdings, I then was managing a solar company because of my sales background. So I was the sales manager for the company, and then eventually a door opened in conservation at Hillside Dams.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's a beautiful story.
Thank you.
What would you say you're most passionate about from your entire experience?
I think the most I am passionate about is the people. I'm a very people-oriented person. So regardless, I'm very comfortable working with people from all walks of life. And the fact that I'm an unstructured person. So I do not function well behind a desk where I have everything routine every day. I always have to have a different day for me to thrive.
Yeah.
So best way, yes, tourism is good, and my work as well as a conservationist, no day is similar. So that's just who I am. And I'm very comfortable in the bush, so they say. Yeah. In the field work is what I'm most passionate about. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Like, I was thinking of something that I learned from someone behind the scenes. Yeah, I was telling him the same thing about myself, that I don't think I would cope that well in a setup where I'm behind the desk every day, maybe doing paperwork. Shout out to the people who can do that. Like, I have so much respect for them, because I think I'm more of a creative. I want to explore different avenues, but also in a disciplined manner, because I think purpose without discipline is like an octopus on roller skates. You're just all over.
Yeah, just all over. Yes,
yeah, you're just all
indeed. Over. So yeah, I guess with most creatives, we do not function well behind the desks. We need to be out there, being able to explore, to imagine, to implement, and to see how things pan out. So every morning it's a new canvas. See what you can paint.
And like you said, so you consider yourself a creative?
Yes, indeed.
Because I was scared to call you a creative. I was like, should I? But yeah.
Yes, basically I function better in that space. And usually when I teach, no matter what platform I am sitting on, basically I would prefer speaking with creatively using creative means. So it could be either with a picture, it could be doing something artistic, so that's, or a play. So that's how I am able to actually articulate any vision that I might have, or where one would want to go. Yes.
Okay. So now getting to the work that you do, I was this year years old when I discovered that Hillside Dams is a wetland.
Yes.
Because I think for the longest time I thought it was man-made. I didn't know it's a natural type of space.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to ask you what a conservancy is, because like I'm told Hillside Dams is a conservancy, right?
Yes.
Yes. So what is a conservancy?
So basically, for starters, a conservancy is a land that is managed for the purpose to preserve and conserve its natural resources. That's what a conservancy is. So as Hillside Dams Conservancy, we are the biggest wetland in the province of Bulawayo. So we are an EMA designated wetland. So that means that we are also a protected area. Apart from that, Hillside Dams is known as a nature reserve, basically. So it's a nature reserve. It did not start today. And right now I'm trying to break the norm out of people. I'm trying to demystify Hillside Dams as a conservancy, because people has just known it, oh, it's one of those chill out spots. You can go have a barbecue, have a picnic with family. But now we're trying to unpack Hillside Dams as a conservancy, as a nature reserve, as a national monument. So that's where we are now as Hillside Dams Conservancy Trust. So many people say, what are you conserving? People look to say, oh, conservation is more about animals, it's more about that. But Hillside Dams, like you started off, we are a wetland, and we are conserving indigenous tree species of the Matebele land. With that as well, obviously, as a habitat, that means we have habitants as well who stay in the habitat. So any flora, any fauna, birds, reptiles, mammals that we have in the conservancy, that means that is what we are conserving, basically.
Wow. What species are there like that you can name, that you've seen as well?
So as of moment, we are one of Bulawayo's birding hotspots. So we have recorded up to 250 bird species annually. So from January to December, as the seasons change. We do have some of our interesting habitants, which are the snakes. Yes, we've got reptiles in Hillside Dams, and people always ask. Yes, we do have very dangerous venomous snakes. Yes, but however, snakes have got a bit of a lifestyle that they have. So you really need to know animal behavior. Generally, they see us before we see them. So as to their nature, they'll probably hide and they'll slither away before you even notice them. Right. So we have the reptiles. We also have part of the reptile family. We've got, rock monitors, water monitors. So, yeah. And we do have a few mammals. Some of the smaller mammals, You've got the hares, the rabbits, the rock dassies. On occasion of recent, we have had a couple of clip springers. So as part of our initiative, as we unpack Hillside Dams, we are looking to also reintroduce animals back into the conservancy. Yeah. So in a nutshell, that's what we have at Hillside Dams.
You're speaking of snakes, right? And where we come from, I think instinct is kill it, kill it. So how do you always try to advise people to react to an encounter with those? Like you mentioned, they see us first, but maybe given a situation where maybe I come across a black mamba or something, what do I do?
Why a black mamba?
Because that one it's the fastest and I think most venomous in Africa, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Like that.
Yeah.
So with snakes, like with any other animal, human conflict is bound to happen somewhere, somehow. So we always try to make sure that whenever people are visiting, especially when we hold tours in large groups, this is one thing that I always try to emphasize to the clients, to say, guys, when you come, if you do come across snakes, first things first, just observe how far you are from it, right? Is it moving away or is it in its frozen state? Because with animals, first they have their freeze state, where they are trying to blend and camouflage themselves with the nature around them. And then the second one is their flee state, where they feel, if they are feeling you are coming way too close and it's becoming uncomfortable. I think it's with us all. When you notice and you're walking around town, if someone comes too close to your bag or to yourself, to your person, or they're invading your personal space, you either cross the road, so it's just the same. So it's freeze, flight, or stand and fight. So those three are how animals generally behave. So we do have a zone with everyone, with every animal, is which we are, of comfortability, and we're like, okay, fine, I see you. I always have to make sure that you notice that I have seen you. Yeah. So they will see you. If they feel you're coming too close, they will flee. And the last resort will be to stand and fight. Yes. So it's very important that people know how to tell the different mannerisms of animals, basically.
I'm learning something from this, that in life, be like an animal. Don't react. Don't be quick to react, but analyze and see where you need to react. And just like a snake, I'm a believer, by the way. There's a verse that speaks about how we should be like snakes. We should be shrewd like snakes, and meek like doves.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need to know when to be what. So like you're saying as well, know when to be a lamb and know when to be a lion. So those things apply to everyone, not just the animal kingdom.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, how has the environment changed over the years, and what role has the community played in that?
At Hillside Dams, basically, I remember going to Hillside Dams when I was young. Although I am a Harare girl, I grew up in Harare. I did come to Bulawayo often to visit. The last time I was at Hillside Dams was probably around 96, 97. And that was the last time I was actually at Hillside Dams. Then at one moment, the conservancy was shut down for other reasons. 2008, a bunch of community members, they established the Hillside Dams Conservancy Trust with the initiative to re-establish the park. So they took it upon themselves as a community to say, what best can we do with this, our green space? It's a community space. So they formed the trust, and they started volunteering. The whole community started volunteering in creating what we know today as the Hillside Dams. The park itself was overgrown, invasive species, and there were so many stories, I'm sure we heard them in the paper, where bodies were found, criminal activities, and things like that, where bodies were being dumped in the conservancy because of the nature that it had become. It was just now bush. It was unkempt. So the community started working, volunteering. People were volunteering, freely coming and making what it is today. So everything that you see today, it's all from the community itself taking initiative. So I'm really grateful for the community around Hillside Dams, which is Ward 4. They're very passionate about the green space, and we really applaud them for taking the initiative and the call to stand and re-establish the trust to what it is today. So today we are sitting on 86 hectares of land. So we stretch out from Banff and Ware all the way to Hoopie Hollow, that is in Burnside, just near Whitestone. That's how far we stretch.
Wow, that's a that's a broad space. Like, no, I stored and banned.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
So we joke about it. Say, imagine I've been to Burnside and back, during a day's work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're doing quite a lot of walking in there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's okay. This is so off script, but like it's like Cape to Cairo in miniature state
Yes.
type of vibe. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. I'm so impressed by all of this because, like you said, community played such a big role in making sure that place comes to life. If it hadn't been for community, it would be worse maybe by now. It would be a whole jungle.
Probably it will be not. Maybe right now we would have built on it.
Oh yeah.
We would have built on it and we wouldn't be having any green space in the city. So
Yeah.
it's very good for the community to have participated in that. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So what does sustainability look like at a local level?
So with Hillside Dams is that we have availed opportunities for the community to participate in volunteer activities. So basically, the community has a sense of ownership of what that space is. So anything that happens there, we still run our volunteer programs for the community. We have our volunteer day, which is a Wednesday. So every Wednesday, it's open to the community to come and participate in our conservation efforts. Mainly, we are managing the invasive species so that at least we do not have to shut down the park again because of overgrowth. So the community comes, we participate in eradication of invasive species. Of note, I'm sure everyone is now familiar with the Lantana camara, which is also illegal to have even in your property because of its invasive nature. So in Hillside Dams, we have noted up to about 25 species of invasive plants. They might not be invasive outside of Hillside Dams or in general, but within Hillside Dams, like I said, we are conserving indigenous tree species. So as our efforts to manage and preserve the indigenous trees, we need to get rid of everything that is exotic or alien, or that might compete with the indigenous trees, right? So our indigenous trees are important for us because of their medicinal properties and also as part of our heritage. You can imagine right now, I'm sure in the city you're aware where trees were being cut down, especially some of the huge trees, not only because they were posing a danger and a threat, to the vehicles or anything in town. Our trees are very old, as is our city. So that's how old our trees were in the city. So now we're saying we want to replace them with our indigenous trees so that we may strike a balance. Yeah. So we also offer a volunteer and services or programs for students, whether internships or attachments or just students who just want to, take time out of their busy, studies and give back to the community. They come in and they can participate with us as well. We do offer educational tours for students in the higher and primary schools so that they may also appreciate what is happening at Hillside Dams. They may appreciate the environment around them. They get to really experience it on a more practical way. Right now, the Ministry of Education, we have declared it a heritage curriculum. So we are there to say, okay, fine, we will extend the classroom outdoors where they can experience everything that they are learning theoretically in the classroom and get to appreciate it. And it also gives back to their projects, which they are doing, especially the O-levels and the A-levels. Hence the workshop we attended together, right? So that was Riverdale. They had to do their project in travel and tourism for their exam class. So we went, they had to host a project, and which was a conference, right? So we are doing our part as well in basically having, this wholesome tourism for lack of a better word, system that we're trying to initiate in the schools through the heritage program or curriculum. And as well, we are interacting with other organizations, other stakeholders for their corporate responsibilities, giving back to communities, and with EMA enforcing some of the policies that have been put in place by EMA, as well as the Ministry of Environment and Climate. Right. So those are some of the sustainability initiatives that we are doing at Hillside Dams.
That is so commendable. I think it's the 35th president of the United States, John F. Kennedy. He said, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask your country what you can do for it. It's not in verbatim, of course,
Indeed.
but yeah, I said it in my own words. And so you are showing that you're taking leadership in that initiative to show us what you can do for our nation and overall as a continent, and the whole world, because tourists come in and they do come to your space to see what it's like, and so
Indeed.
like you said, also it's a place that's rich culturally and within the heritage context, because from my research I saw that this is where King Lobengula took his rest. Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a lot of rich history, and I saw some rock paintings there. So it's really beautiful. And also, sorry, I saw during the exhibition, the Green Business Expo, you had bins there that were written like cans, like
Glass, yes.
Yes. So you're teaching us how to not to litter, sorry, and to practice recycling, all of that. Yeah.
Yes, so Hillside Dams was, I would like to say in my words, was first established by King Lobengula. It was his resort. That's where he came to, chill. He came to relax. I say he came to take, a time out of the 9 wives, So he was running away from all the commotion, hey. So he established Hillside Dams as probably his herbarium, because of the tree species that are found there, medicinal trees that are there. So he had basically, as he established it, he said, no, this is just for his herbalists, So he did resort there. So some of the indabas that were held with either the pioneer column, they were actually held at Hillside Dams. Though we do not have part of this in the actual books. But, through oral traditions, we've heard, and we do have some evidence in pictures of him being resident at Hillside Dams. And he's the one the river that actually channels through Hillside Dams is called Machemhlope River. So it has been known as Machemhlope, right? Where you get the hillside, right? Because of the many hills that are inside. And also, basically, the suburb around Hillside, which is Hillside suburb and Machemhlope, they are all taking their names from the story. So it like you mentioned, the rock paintings. The rock paintings were there before King Lobengula. Yes, they are older than King Lobengula being resident there. After King Lobengula left, that's when the pioneer column then settled in there and established the first waterworks in 1898, which were then the first commercial water supply for the city of Bulawayo for water. So those were the first things that when we speak about heritage, that's what we speak about at the Hillside Dams. So not many people are aware of this. And, with oral traditions, some part of our history gets lost. But now we're saying, okay, how do we tap back into that? So we do have curators and historians who have the story. And it's time that we begin to tell the full story of Hillside Dams, the full story of Bulawayo itself and where we came from. So with our educational tours, we do also focus on the heritage as much as we focus on the environmental. So we do have visitors that come from out of the country. We do have tourists who come and they know the story, they've heard of it, and they just want to have a complete, comprehension of the space. We've been featured in travel magazines in the UK, I think twice. And we've had, people who from as far as Germany visit us every now and often to just camp at the space and appreciate the space that we have, especially the fact that we are within the city. So 6 kilometers away from the CBD. Yeah.
I feel so proud to be from this beautiful city because I realize we've got so many rich sites, heritage places to visit, and I hope I haven't been taking these places for granted, because now the more you talk about it, the more I just feel connected to the people who lived before us, and this is why we should sustain this place so that the people who come after us can also experience this at a deeper level.
Yes. So like we always say in environmental tourism, we say that we are borrowing from the future generation. They are not borrowing from us. We are borrowing from them. So now we're trying to sustain it so that the future generations may be able to also appreciate where they're coming from. Yes. So to go back, you were talking about the waste bins that we've put out as part of our initiatives, is that we have opened a drop-off center at Hillside Dams. So we've taught the community in Ward 4 to say we want to reduce the waste that makes its way to the landfill so that we can manage our carbon credits and reduce litter. We have set up a drop-off center where we have taken the time and are still, it's a process that happens continuously. We are teaching the community on the effective disposal of waste. So at each generation at the homes, we begin to separate our waste. Glass, plastics, cardboard, and also paper and cans, so that we are able to effectively dispose of them. And we're trying to say, okay, let's go back to the basics. Let's go back to the roots where we have healthy compost in our households, where we can do a compost site. So all your kitchen waste, all your garden waste, compost it, and you can have a healthy garden, an organic garden. And also at the Hillside Dams, we're now trying to put all our compost waste and try to generate green fertilizer. Right. So this is, chemical free, and we can able to grow organic vegetables, fruits and vegetables. So we separate all our waste in Hillside Dams. So as you go about the conservancy, you will see these brightly colored bins, clearly marked, glass, plastic, cans. So we have engaged various stakeholders, various recycling companies to say, they can now come and just collect from there. At the same time, we're also trying to create green jobs. We have what we have now termed as waste pickers or waste collectors. So these are people who go around rummaging in the bins, trying to, get anything that could be of value. So because of that initiative that we've put, they are able to come and collect safely without going through exposing themselves to any harmful substances or to disease or anything. So they can come through, collect whatever they need, whether it's plastic, whether it's cans, and then they can go and sell them off as well to get some kind of income. So we have that initiative that is happening at Hillside Dams, and we hopefully that once that pilot project has been a full success, and we want to see it being introduced into the city, so that we have clearly marked bins in the city. Our organic waste, which is, we may go around eating, our fruits and stuff, all that waste can be put maybe at the compost. We know the city has a nursery where they are growing plants, so that can be used better. Yes. in those spaces.
Our guest yesterday, shout out to Mtokozi Simsingai from Green Heart, was speaking of their initiative of having smart bins.
Yes.
So, and we also spoke about you in the episode, so hope you're going to watch it and check it out. Shout out to both
Indeed.
of you. Yeah.
Yes,
So-
I've worked with Mtokozi quite a
yeah.
lot. Yes.
Yes, yes. So as he was telling us about the smart bins that they can detect when the litter has reached a certain level, and then the city council can dispose. So I spoke of your bins as well, that you've got clearly marked bins, and you never know, maybe a collaboration can start from there, where they have the smart bins there clearly marked, and it's a collaboration of Green Heart and Dams.
Definitely, we are actually in partnership with Green Heart.
Oh,
So they also take time to volunteer at Hillside Dams.
okay.
There are various initiatives. Of course, you had an interview with him, like you're saying, you hosted him, where they are working with schools and young people. So, and part of their initiatives, they do bring out some of their youth that they're interacting with to participate in our initiatives. This is the great part, is that if we do it together, we go further. So we do interact with other stakeholders, other organizations within the environmental space, because it's if I decide to do it alone, the impact will not be that visible and meaningful. So it's time we start taking ownership. So we do collaborate with Green Heart in quite a lot of our initiatives, and we really appreciate them coming out to volunteer of their time as well with us at Hillside Dams. Yeah.
I think it's Mother Teresa who said something like, I cannot change the entire world, but I can throw a stone into the water and it will create many ripples.
Many ripples,
Yes.
yes.
And so imagine if all of us threw stones within that context, the kind of change that we can make just by coming
Definitely.
together.
Definitely. That is so true. We have so many initiatives that we're doing within the city that would like to see being rolled out in the city, and like you're saying, for the greater of a greener Bulawayo. So we are, right now we are working together with the Ministry of State and local government as well. We're looking to roll out a fire disaster management strategy for the city. We are a hotspot and prone out to fires. So every year there's fires going around, veiled fires that start during the fire season. And we're saying, what is our disaster management plan? When a fire breaks out, what happens? If you are aware, last month there are probably 3 homes that were lost to fires. And we're talking, I think, if I'm correct, it said it's in the 50 million ZiG worth of property was lost. So we are saying, what is our plan when such an incident happens? How are the communities affected? How are the communities compensated? How are the communities educated as regards to fire management and fire prevention? So there is a national document, and we now bringing it down to a provincial level. What is happening on the grounds? Who is responsible for what? And how can we solve issues together as a province and as a city? And also our conservation efforts, protecting and restoring natural habitats, like Hillside Dams, like Kami as well, like Umguza. We are losing our natural spaces. So we are saying, let's come together and see how best we can have a greener Bulawayo. You can imagine a few years back, Bulawayo was said to be one of the smartest, cleanest cities in Africa. So we need to go back to that. That's where we want to see the city of Bulawayo at. Yeah.
I like how nature, in its very essence, was created to refurbish itself. For example, the human body, if you get hurt, somehow it's able to restore itself back to what it was. And even nature, the trees, the environment. I look at certain places like mountains where there's no human interaction.
Yes.
They're able to somehow I don't know, like
Replenish
themselves. Yes,
Yes.
that's the word. Thank you for that. Replenish themselves. So that's nature. You know,
Yes.
it's nature to replenish itself. And so I love this, Wuti. You're trying to make sure that we preserve that and protect that. You know, to allow nature to breathe, to refurbish itself. Yeah.
Yes. So what you'll probably notice is that right now, 60% of our wetlands are degraded in the whole country. And we are saying, what can we do to preserve the 40%? Wetlands are very crucial. Wetlands are very important. In fact, all natural spaces are very important. So when you talk about restoring, preserving, conserving, is that we're saying, okay, let's go again back to the basics, that we allow nature to replenish itself. So some of the initiatives, if we notice, especially when we speak about wetlands, people ask, why do you not allow us to play music at Hillside Dams? All right, we're trying to maintain the space as pristine as possible, right? Why do we not have quad bikes at Hillside Dams? Well, once we introduce quad bikes, they're degrading the land, and we begin to have more loose soil. So when the rains come, all that soil
Siltation.
flows, back into the river.
Yeah.
And then the next thing, there's no water in the river because of siltation. So these are the reasons why we say, okay, fine, how best can we minimize us as humans interfering too much with nature? We have poached all the animals in Hillside Dams. The animals played an important role in conserving and preserving the wetland for it to continuously work the way it should work. Why are we saying we shouldn't meddle too much in participating in agricultural activities near or within wetlands? It's because then we begin to introduce artificial fertilizers, and then they kill all the bacteria that are in the wetlands, and that's how we degrade wetlands. And also, obviously, we're saying, oh, everyone is moving away from the country into the city. They need homes to stay, Personally, I don't mind moving out of the city and into the rurals. They're not rurals as such, but you could, now with the way that we've advanced, we can have a good modern home in the rural.
For sure.
Yeah. So nature has its way that God created for it to be able to reinvent itself and repair itself. But because of human interaction and modernization, we have now taken away from that reconstruction, that repairs that is supposed to happen naturally. And you'll be amazed if you sit down with your grandparents or so. They would tell you some of the things that they did as they were growing up. Unbeknown to them, that was part of the cycle where we were repairing nature, so to say. We were assisting nature in repairing or conserving. So some of the taboos, some of the the totems, the things like that, the taboos and the myths that we have always known, it was a way of preserving and conserving. So we are already doing these initiatives. But right now, in modern language, we have seemed to adopt a Eurocentric kind of language or lifestyle. And now when we speak these big words like sustainability, conservation, sometimes, you need to read it more than 5 times to be able to say conservation,
You say, you say conversation.
Conversation, conservance, it's quite a difficult word for people. So these things have already been with us. But the way now, we've been educated, we have actually probably, somewhere there was a misinformation and deformation. So, we're just wanting to say, let's go back to our basics. If we talk to our elders, they can teach us, they can tell us how they used to do these sustainability efforts and how they participated in them. And the reason why they're saying, don't go to that river, kulamajuzu, you know, you disappear and
Yeah.
you'd view the river, which is the wetland, from a distance, and you would appreciate it from a distance without tampering with it. Yeah. So those are some of the things that, you know, that we now have to go back to and let nature be nature and be able to repair itself. We can participate with it. And then in the end, the benefit is to us and our future generations.
I, I love this so much. Like, those things have always been there. It's just different terms that I used.
Yes.
Different terms.
Yes.
You mentioned something also during the workshop where you said you can't clap because you chase the birds away. I found that fascinating. And it takes me back to the workshops where we can't clap in workshops. We do showers. Like showers when you...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's so many creative ways that we want to communicate with people,
Yeah.
so that they understand what we're talking about, and so that they also appreciate. So I think from today on, more people will appreciate why we try to minimize the music, the amplified music.
Yes.
We say we can sing.
Okay.
Right? It's good because the birds are singing.
Singers, yeah.
So we can sing when you're in the conservancy, but we're trying to minimize. Please, I will emphasize, we're trying to minimize.
Yes.
The conservancy, we still have to fund it. It has to generate income. It has to take care of itself. So yes, indeed, from time to time, I really need to spell this out, from time to time. I think we limited it to 5 events where we can make music.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we do make exceptions, but you notice we really have a strict no music policy.
Yeah.
Yes, for those kind of reasons. And as a resort space, right now we are experiencing quite a high on people who want to come out for what we call nature tourism. Right. It's known world over now that Hillside Dams, it's a birding hotspot. So they want to experience that because with modernization, they no longer have birds. They no longer have those green spaces at reach for them. So they come and explore it within, Zimbabwe, within Hillside Dams. So we have everyone trying to come and appreciate, the blessing and the gift that is nature at Hillside Dams.
Yeah.
So you have those people that have also come to participate in that. And, so it kind of like, we need to strike a balance. Yeah.
I saw this other meme this one time that was saying we don't see not that many butterflies because people eat amaqimbi. So, yeah,
it's
I know that.
well, not all butterflies come from mopani worms.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and there's quite a range of of butterflies.
For sure.
Yeah, not an
For
expert in the field, but yes, there's
Yeah.
quite a range of butterflies. So we do experience some of that as well at Hillside Dams. There's a lot to do at Hillside Dams, actually.
Yeah.
We do sometimes what we call fungi walks. Just as we get into the rainy season, the first rains, and we see fungi coming up, which we now call the mushrooms. Well, mushrooms are what we say mushrooms is what you buy in the supermarket. Right. What you eat, that's mushrooms.
Okay.
But anyway, they're all mushrooms. It's fungi.
It's
So
fungi,
we've got different species of fungi, different fun colors, fun shapes. Some look like, balls. Some look like puff balls. They're just so interesting to watch and to see, especially
Question.
during the rains.
Can we
Yes.
find the Smurfs there?
Well, would have to find a Gargamel first. Yeah. Yeah. So it's quite interesting if you come out at Hillside Dams. We do quite a lot of stuff. Always, we are open to we have quite a genre of experts who come through. Like we teach on the fungi. We've got one of probably the only professor in that world in terms of fungi and things like that in Zimbabwe.
Wow.
That is Miss Kathy Sharp. So she comes and she teaches that, and we have the anthropology department as well of the museum, and we have Professor Moira she comes in and she does insects. So kids come out, adults come out in the nights. We put, our lights out and see what kind of insects we attract, put them in the glass jar, have a good look at them closer, try to identify, because there's still a lot actually to still identify. Yes.
This is a whole episode on its own, yeah?
Yeah.
About this, yeah. So mine entry is coming up, right? What advice do you have for mining companies and how they can reduce their environmental footprint?
Okay, that is a very good question. What we're saying is that we do understand as well that, our economy is very diverse.
Yeah.
Right. And you're talking about everyone has a carbon footprint. What we would like to see is the mining companies also begin to, they have done this, I'm sure they do have a framework where how they give back in terms of reducing their carbon footprint, because we have experts in the field who have the knowledge of how can we now fix something that is broken. So it's a call to the miners, to the mining company to say, all right, participate or give into the conservation efforts or the preservation efforts of our rivers and our natural water resources. Equip the people, equip conservationists like myself, so that we're able to preserve or to repair our rivers and our dams, because at the end of the day, whatever waste that they're producing, it seeps down into the soils, it seeps down to our own underground waters, and we really lack some of the funding. We really lack funding in terms of being able then to manage or preserve or conserve and repair. So I'm very much aware, not sure exactly what it's called, but we do have a fund that was set up by the government to say, okay, each company is supposed to pay this much according to their waste, but we want them to also actively participate by adopting some of our initiatives. It may be through the education tours that we do. It may be like right now as Hillside Dams, we are trying to raise funds to rehabilitate the wetland itself. If you have come out to Hillside Dams, you have noticed that our lower dam reservoir quickly loses out its water. So the experts have probably identified a leak in the basin of the lower reservoir. So we need to repair that, and it's quite a lot of money that is required. We were talking something in the $70,000 to repair the lower dam. So those are some of the initiatives where we would like to see the mining corporate giants to say, you can adopt some of these initiatives and give back to the communities as well, and reduce your carbon credits or footprint, so to say.
Is there corporate social responsibility?
Yes, is there responsibilities. We want to see it go further than them paying, so to say, a fee to discharge waste, but now to actively to say, I've discharged this waste.
Yeah.
I am giving this to this organization to be able to say, to purify the space. So wherever companies are working or mining, within that space, they do have, it be under Zinwa, where they could give and actually follow up and be part of what is happening within that space. Yes.
Special stuff. I think the mining companies will appreciate this and will definitely make a reel from this. I'm aware that you're supposed to go somewhere soon, so I'm wrapping this up, but I still have so many questions for you, and I'm pretty sure the team has so many. But the last question that I have for you is, what does a greener Bulawayo look like for you?
Wow, that's well, basically, I think what I would want, or how I would like to see Bulawayo in the next 5 years, it's a safer, cleaner environment. currently, the mayor of the city, David Coulter, has called upon the city to say by 2030 we should have planted at least, he cited, I think, 10 million trees.
Yeah.
Right. So we need to play our part. And it was broken down meticulously to say if every household could plant 10 trees, 10 indigenous trees, they could also be, you could have part fruit trees and generic trees. So we'd like to see a cleaner environment. Many people are surprised. You can be surprised about the role of trees in general. If you come to the western suburbs, you will notice that the air is different from the eastern suburbs.
Yes.
Because we have cut down all the trees.
Okay.
Right. If you come to the eastern suburbs, you notice, it's cooler, it's fresher, because there's trees which are doing their job. So we've taken away the trees. So let's bring back the trees, and we can have a cleaner, lesser polluted environment. And with that also, as we bring back the trees, and also as we practice safe disposal methods of waste, we can manage our waste within our surroundings, and we can also create jobs for the youths. So this is where we want to be as a city of Bulawayo. As we go within 5 years, we can do this. So if we just put our minds together, there's a lot that we can do. We also want to see, like I was speaking of the organic fertilizers, it all comes from, the nature. It comes from the trees, whether we're taking waste from the paddocks, mushrooms. There's a vast opportunities for us to grow a better, greener Bulawayo.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. We have a role to play. And like you said, we can do it. It's very possible.
Yeah, and I will be following up on seeing you, how many trees you would have planted. So we're working towards, December is coming, tree planting day is coming.
Tree planting day.
Yeah.
What's tree planting day? What's the date?
Well, basically, tree planting day is the first Saturday of December.
Okay.
Yes, the first Saturday is when we have our National Tree Planting Day.
So while you prepare for December, look for seeds to plant trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or just do, the natural thing. Buy fruits in town. We've seen them. Umqokolo, ukhona, buy those our indigenous fruits. Enjoy them. Save the seeds, One thing, I read this in China where they plant fruit trees along the highways. So we can also do that, along our highways, and then the communities around can also benefit from that. That's a way of also encouraging food securities. And I'm sure Green Heart mentioned their program as well, where they are, donating fruit trees, indigenous fruit trees to the communities, as well as exotic fruits. So we can all play our part. If you chop one tree, replace it with 2 others, So we continuously moving in a cycle. Yeah.
Green Heart mentioned that they want to get rid of the exotic trees in town and replace them with indigenous trees. And I was like, it's going to be a fruitful city, fruitful journey.
Yes. They've served their purpose now. Yes. So, it's great to participate. And at any level, it does not take much.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just a bit of your time. If you cannot grow the trees, you can, you can donate a space. As a corporate, you can give into charities or into organizations that are actually on the hands, who have more knowledge of what needs to be done and where and how. Yes.
I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And I remember you mentioned that you want to become the first Black professional hunter. I wish you all the best as you pursue that.
Thank you.
And can't wait to hear you testify and saying that.
Yeah,
you're
that
now-
one is that's a whole long other story. Hey, it's a journey. It's a quite a long journey, and I feel like maybe I'm getting a little bit detoured with this whole conservation thing. I do tend to get passionate about everything that I do. So, yeah, we'll see how far it goes. I'm also excited about that one. Thank you so much for having me today on your podcast, and I hope everyone that has been tuned in or is going to tune in will begin to also to participate. Environment it's all ours. Let's take ownership and responsibility of our footprints. Yes, not the actual footprints, but as well. Everything that we do here, we are leaving a footprint, whether it's our DNA, whether it's, in the computer systems and things like that. We all have a footprint somewhere. So let's take responsibility and repair our city.
Yeah, she has said it. Thank you so much. Thank you to Hillside Dams as well for allowing you to be here. Thank you to our viewers for tuning in. I'm Nkosi Kumalo, and this was Bernadette, and we hope you loved this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment. As always, we enjoy hearing from you guys. From us, it's bye for now. Bye for today. See you next time.